Well, hello friends and welcome to Indigo Intuitive Tarot. I am Indigo and I am here to provide you with intuitive messages and downloads via the tarot as well as, a few oracle cards per usual. Now, while these intuitive messages and downloads are not intended for love, romance, and relationships, they may also and often apply to other areas and aspects of your incarnation in this 3D reality. So please, as always, take what applies, and if it doesn't apply, what do? We let it fly. Okay. So hey, you see cards. Why do you see cards? Because I've already tried to record this, and the universe is testing my patience on this good day. Lord have mercy. So I tried to record it the first time. The mic failed. I tried to record it a second time. The sound was real bad. I don't know what's going on, but we're here. And the message was so beautiful that I refuse to give it up, right? Someone needs to hear this. This is a really good message. So this reading is going to be your spiritual and self-care check-in. If you know me, you know I am the queen of self-care. Bless you. I'm the queen of self-care. So why is he sneezing? My fuzzy son is sneezing. Anyway, queen of self-care, right? I've worked in supplements and body care and spas and yoga studios, and I went to school for aesthetics, and I'm a Reiki Master and energy healer, right? Self-care is my thing. So I figure, why not take all of that knowledge and apply it to a reading, right? Because right now, times are tough. I was just listening yesterday to the song Trying Times by James Blake, which he has a new album out. It is beautiful. Highly recommend it. But trying times indeed. So we need to be taking care of our mental space, our emotional space, our spiritual space, right? We need to be tending to those things. Because if you're not, this time is going to be very challenging for you. That's not to say that we don't take inspired action where we need to. That's not to say we don't stand up for what we believe in. But we need to be tending to our inner space. Because, honey, the powers that be are trying to hijack your energy, your attention, and your focus, the most greatest currencies you will ever have, including your health, They're trying to hijack those things, honey, and turn you every which way but loose. All right? So it's time to make sure that you're taking care of yourselves. Okay? All right. So I'd already pulled the cards. I'm not re-pulling these cards. Someone needs to hear this. Okay? So we have the Empress, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Seven of Wands. The Empress is all four queens, honey. She is the highest expression of feminine energy, if you will. Everything is fluid here. Everyone is welcome here. Okay. She's giving. She's abundant. She's overflowing. She's aligned with love, not romantic love, not just self-love, like the highest expression of divine love. Source creator love, and you know what I mean? Your lineage, your ancestor, that love, right? She's full of it. She's so full. She has it to give, right? She's surrounded by kids and a dog, and I'm assuming her partner, right? Divine love. Her house is stocked, the beautiful flowers, right? Now, that doesn't mean that the feminine always has to be giving, and we'll get into that in a minute. But she does have it to give, okay? Because she's full. She's abundant. She's like the most abundant form of the feminine, right? The most abundant expression. Okay, we have the Wheel of Fortune here. Spinning that good old wheel of fate. Following your rainbow. Following your happiness. Being in joy. Finding fun again. Because when you align with joy and a good time, right? Usually you have the... let me rephrase that. When you align with joy and fun and your highest expression of joy and fun, that's usually when the synchronicities start to happen. That's usually when the signs start to appear. Now, this could be about luck and money and things like that, of course. But following your highest joy, see, this is like a rainbow path. Following your highest joy, happiness. Now we have the Seven of Wands. Drawing your line in the sand. Standing up for what you believe in, right? Boundaries. You have to have boundaries to be this abundantly full. You have to. Yes, she's giving. Of course she is. But if she gave till depletion, no bueno. No bueno. Seven of Wands. And if you look, what she is standing for is rooted in love. There's a heart there. Love for self, love for community, love for the Mother Earth, right? Now, if we don't draw these boundaries, if, draw our line in the sand that says, I need to make sure that I'm full, that I'm aligning with joy and fun and taking care of myself and pouring into myself, where do we end up? Now, on the bottom of the deck, we had the Seven of Wands. The Ten of Wands, excuse me. Frazzled, burdened, overwhelmed, overstimulated, running on caffeine. When's the last time she's had a nourishing meal? Because, honey, she is highly nourished. Her pantry and refrigerator is stocked with full of nourishing food, right? Deadlines, alerts, fragmented, dysfunctional, dysregulated, nervous system on 1 million, cortisol spikes, late nights, adrenaline, burnt out. What does Trisha Hersey from the Nap Ministry say? You're not a machine, stop grinding. Stop grinding. So, we had clarifiers. For the Empress, we had the Emperor, Justice, and the Hermit. For the Wheel of Fortune, we had the Eight of Cups and the Six of Wands. And for the Seven of Wands, we had the Lovers and the Two of Wands. Now, this could apply to love, absolutely. But this is not a romance, relation. This is not a romance and relationship reading. What are my words? So, yes, it could be love. But, with the Empress here, we have the Emperor, Justice, and the Hermit. This could be marriage because these two are a match. Justice, Justice obviously represents courts, legalities, things of that nature. And then you have the Hermit going within, looking for the light within. Now, I will say, this could also just be balancing masculine and feminine energies, being able to give and receive, knowing when to give and receive, right? Because these scales here are balanced. But also, you see that mirror image? What are you mirroring? What are you letting take up space in your mental? Because at one point we had the Seven of Swords here, which is usually like lying, cheating, stealing, but the swords are mental energy. So what are you letting take up space in your mental, and then you're mirroring back to the world, if that makes sense? Okay. Where is the balance? You might need to go within and find that inner light. Also, with that Seven of Swords, there's the moon is like shining light down upon the guy that's like stealing things. I said, what is stealing your light? You might have to go back within to find that light within you. Yeah, something like that. Right? Knowing when to give, but also knowing when to sit back and receive. Knowing when to take action and when to be still. Okay? So now we're moving on to the Wheel of Fortune. Clarified by the Eight of Cups and the Six of Wands here. Walking away from things that no longer nourish you because the crumbs look unappetizing. She's fully nourished. She's fully abundant. She don't need unappetizing little crumbs. She's got it. She's pretty much got it all, right? She had to walk away from the things, though, that didn't give her what she wanted. And when you do, you walk right into success. Right into success. Whatever success is, right? It could be money, relationship, family, whatever. But you got to spin that wheel. And you spin the wheel by walking away from things that no longer serve you, that no longer nourish you, that no longer fulfill you. Okay? Because under this little Ten of Wands here, that's the Eight of Cups. We have the Nine of Cups. Look what happens when you walk away from that which doesn't serve you. You walk right into abundance, right into fulfillment, right into nourishment. Look. There's fruits, there's a lot of fruit on that table, nourishing foods. You know, alcohol, questionable, but you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. Okay, so now we're moving on to the Seven of Wands here. The Seven of Wands, drawing your line in the sand, standing up for what you believe in. Clarified by the Lovers and the Two of Wands. Now again, this could be about choosing a relationship or choosing a partner. Yes, because again, we have a match here with the Emperor and Empress. However, before the Lovers card was the Lovers card, it was the Choice card. The Two of Wands is also about making a choice. Wands are action oriented. So here we have a Two of Wands and a Seven of Wands. I'm choosing to stand for what I believe in. I'm choosing to draw boundaries, to have my boundaries, to stand in love, that's deeply rooted. I'm also hearing, which could lead back to ancestral lineage. Maybe you're searching or researching your ancestry. I'm just getting that like deep roots, okay? Maybe you are here to break generational curses. And I don't use that language lightly because I think it gets thrown around a lot and a lot of people don't take it seriously. It's just kind of like buzzwords. You're here to do what your ancestors couldn't do. Maybe they didn't have the space for rest and replenishment and nourishment. I mean, a lot of our ancestors grew up in times of food scarcity. We even have food deserts today. You know what I mean? Oh, that hit deep. That hit deep. This love isn't romantic. It's the divine love. It's that like agape love. It's the love that is passed through lineages. It is the love that is of the divine, of the creator, of source, whatever you want to call it. Okay. And you're making the choice to do so. You made the choice. You're taking action. And I think because this was what was on the bottom of the deck, and the kind of final pull here, we have the King of Swords. You're seeing it clearly now. He's sitting on top of that mountain with all those birds, which to me represent spirit guides, your spirit team, your ancestors, right? Sitting on top of that mountain, he's seeing it clearly. He's very decisive. He's very sharp. He can be a little cold, right? But he's very sharp about his decision making. The High Priestess, using that intuition, getting the divine downloads, honey, helps you see real clear. And then look, the Six of Cups, which is the nostalgia card. You might be looking back, again, through your lineage. You might be looking back and tapping into your childlike wonder, to your childlike joy. Because I'll tell you right now, and again, childlike, not childish, childlike. When you're in that type of flow state, and that joy, and that kind of freedom flow, you know what I mean? It is far easier to get to this. And what gets me is a lot of us do this to get to this. And yes, you can get there eventually, but at what cost? At what cost? Because this practiced over years leads to dis-ease. Please look into why women have high cases of like autoimmune disease. They're now finding out a lot of times it was from stuff like this. Energetic, mental, physical is how it goes. Starts in the energetic, the mental, you know what I mean? Practiced over time. This becomes your reality. Versus this. I'm just saying, there is no right and wrong. If you have to do this for a while, a lot of us have had to do this for a while. Don't unpack and live here, please. Do not unpack and live here. This is detrimental to your health, and I mean that truly from the bottom of my heart. I want better for all of us. I don't want us grinding constantly, day in, day out, frazzled, overwhelmed, overstimulated for the capitalism machine. I don't. And that might sound harsh. You might not agree. But this, I've been there. I ended up in the hospital. That's all I'll say. Okay. So this was our base reading. So I pulled a few oracle cards from the Angel Answers deck. And this is no joke. I can't make this up if I tried. Abundance, yes, and perfect timing. I said she is the most abundant expression of feminine energy. She's the mother. She's Mother Earth incarnate, right? So looking at where in your life you are abundant maybe, and then focusing on how to grow that abundance. Then we have yes. So if you're thinking about walking away from things that are no longer good for you, those crumbs that no longer look appetizing, honey, yes. And again, we have a balance of masculine and feminine energy with the sun and the moon there. Perfect timing. Whenever you decide to take this stand or draw a line in the sand that says no more depletion, no more burnt out, no more fragmentation, it's going to be the perfect time. Again, once you do that, you might fall, I don't want to say fall, but you might walk right into a relationship, right? You might be choosing a relationship that nourishes you, that allows you to take the space to pour into yourself, right? A partner that understands that it's important to pour into one another, right? You might be meeting someone who is the balance, right? We have to fill ourselves first though, right? It's not two halves coming together, it's two whole people coming together. Okay. So I then pulled a card from the Rest deck, which is, again, it's Trisha Hersey from the Nap Ministry. And we got, I Will Unravel from Urgency. How appropriate. Do you think she's unraveling from urgency? Honey, please. Urgency is her middle name. Deadlines, phone ringing off the hook. Forgot about your deadline? Oh no. All right, I will unravel from urgency. We have find a comfortable place to sit or lie, then read these words aloud. I deserve patience, grace, mercy, and care. I deserve not to be rushed. I deserve to be seen as powerful and tender. Again, masculine, feminine, I feel that kind of balance there. I am worthy of a slow and connected, rested life. Sorry if you can hear the noise in the background, I apologize. When I act with urgency, I am ignoring the beauty of what is here right in front of me. I will surrender to the flow of life. I will rest. Yes, we will rest. And it's funny because on the top of the deck here, just sitting here after shuffling, rest is a beautiful interruption in a world with no pause button. What did I say? Grinding. No pause button. So this is your self-care spiritual check-in reading. It's absolutely beautiful. I would like to do these at least once a month as well, because not everybody is here for a romance reading. Sometimes we just need to sit with a cup of tea or a cup of coffee and relax and fill our own cups, have our cups be filled, okay? So I hope that this has provided you with some guidance and some clarity, as it is always my intention to serve. I hope you are doing well. I hope you are taking care of yourselves, and I will talk to you all very, very soon.